day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a late Military Monday. Honestly, I would have done this sooner, but gaming with my friends, work, alcohol, and other things kind of stopped me from doing this in a timely manner. That and my phone decided to die when I needed it to work. Such is life. I'm sorry for being late, but today I'm going to do a Military Mondays, and I'm going to do one about WMs, or Women Marines, or more specifically, one that I had the mispleasure of working for. Now, women Marines oftentimes are given a bad lot in the Marine Corps. I can't speak for other branches because I didn't serve in other branches, but in the Marine Corps, they get a bad lot. They get a bad lot because there's not many of them in the Marine Corps. There really isn't. There's like, if you spend 4 years in the Marine Corps and you work with at least 5 different female Marines in your actual shop, you are above the average. Because for the most part, you're going to work with 2 to 3 female Marines in your shop. And that's it. So, I mean, there's really not that many females in the Marine Corps. I mean, especially so because there's not that many females, when you do work with them, some of them leave an impression. Especially the bad ones. Remember when I did a video where I talked about how our brains are hardwired to remember bad stuff? Well, this is where that really comes into play. Because when you meet a bad female Marine, it just sticks with you. And you can't do anything about it. Because, again, it sticks with you. So, yeah, when you work with bad female Marines in the Marine Corps, that's just what happens. Or that's what sticks with you. Because your brain's hardwired to remember bad things. And you associate all female Marines with that. So yeah, it sucks for female Marines. For those of you who are watching this, I am deeply sorry that this happened to you. Because the bad ones represent all of those of you who do your jobs, do your work, who don't cry and say the reason you were late is because your kittens were sick. Or who do your jobs and don't cry and whine because your fingernails broke. You know, those of you real Marines out there who are women, who do your job and do it honorably and do it to the extent of your ability, I feel bad for you. Because most of you get represented by the female Marines like the ones I'm going to talk about here. There's a female lieutenant who told us the only reason she made it through OCS, she told us, her troops, the only reason she made it through OCS is because she's black and female. And there's a quota for both. And so she got double whammied. And it's like, okay, she's black and female. Pass her. That's what she told us. The troops, the lance corporals, and sergeants, she told us this nonsense. She doesn't get much better than this. Her first week of working there, she's moving into there at Camp Lejeune. And she wants to know, she's talking to the top. But she's not talking to the top in her office. She's talking to the top where all of us junior Marines can hear her. And I happen to overhear this. She's talking to him saying, I need to move into my place soon. Can I get these Marines to help to do that for me? Now, the part of me that is so eager to please anybody, especially a woman, I'm just like, yes, I'll do it. Let's go. I'll do it. I'll do whatever you need. I will happily do what you need, ma'am. But the top cuts her off as she's asking this question and says, no. You can ask them to do it, but if you do, you have to pay them. You have to pay them. And I'm thinking, well, she doesn't have to pay me. But she, of course, is just like, oh, well, damn. Now, again, I was like, she didn't have to pay me. But the top was very insistent on the fact that you have to pay them. And I found out later that reason being is because, well, this is to make sure that officers don't abuse their privileges of authority on their troops and make their troops do things that they shouldn't be doing away from work. Which is what she would have been asking us to do. She would have been asking us to do work away from work. And he doesn't tell her how much money she has to offer. He just tells her she has to pay us. And because she had to pay us, that was enough to make her go, I'm not going to ask them then. Which now as a guy away from that unit, away from her, away from just being a lance or PFC, because that's what I was at the time, period, I can safely say, yeah, that would have been fucked up if you had asked us to do work for free. Away from work, away from the military, asked us to do work for free. And I'm glad the top came in and said what he said, because that would have been messed up. But this mentality doesn't leave this lady. It doesn't at all. Later on in our career, or later on in my career in that company, 8th Com Alpha Company, that was my first unit in the Marine Corps, 8th Com Alpha Company. And I was the crypto NCO, and eventually Headquarters Company comes down and says, hey, you have a vehicle with crypto gear in it. And I was the crypto NCO. So when they come down here and say, talk about this vehicle with crypto gear in, I'm of course involved. Now, I'm concerned because I'm involved because it has crypto gear, but I'm concerned because I had no idea what they were talking about. I'd never heard of this vehicle. I'd never seen any documentation of the gear they were talking about. But apparently, they showed us the documentation saying this was signed over to 8th Com Alpha Company some time ago. And I had nothing to show. I had never seen any of this equipment. Eventually, after some investigation, we found out that this equipment was signed over to 8th Com Alpha Company before they left for Iraq. It was supposed to be a crypto suite, but it didn't work out the way they wanted it to. So, because it didn't work out, they left it at Camp Lejeune versus taking it to Iraq. And it kind of got lost in all the documentation. I don't know how. I mean, all of this stuff happened before I even was introduced to the unit, let alone before I took over as a crypto NCO. So the Headquarters Company is actually really cool about it. They don't seem to care that I don't have any documentation about it. They actually just are like, hey, we just need to take this stuff from you. So if you'll happily sign it over to us, we'll happily take it from you. Their headquarters, they confirm all of this stuff with me. I have nothing to really argue with them about. The female lieutenant, though, comes up to me and is like, I think you should be held accountable for this. Why? Because you're the crypto NCO. Now, after I got appointed crypto NCO, I was actually appointed as the crypto assistant NCO. I wasn't even the actual crypto NCO, because when I took over this job, I was a PFC. I had zero training. My crypto NCO got assigned to the rifle range, and he stayed there for a fucking month, because I guess he failed the first time he went, and he had to go back. And then after that, he got sent to the company office. So I had zero training as the crypto NCO. But I got audited immediately after that. So I got let known that my documentation was sound. As far as the XO, the executive officer of 8th Com, was concerned, my documentation was perfect. He didn't find any flaws. There was nothing in his documentation saying that I had that vehicle. So now this woman is telling me I should be held accountable? Why? Because you're the crypto NCO. Well, yes, but I don't have anything saying that I should have this vehicle. And we end up going back and forth about this, and she keeps insisting I should be blamed. Again, the Headquarters Company doesn't care. Headquarters Battalion, or Headquarters, the people that are there, that belong to Headquarters, all of this was confirmed. Trust me, these weren't just people, random people that came to our company and was like, this belongs to us. We verified all of this. I've just had too much alcohol and I can't speak. There's a little more alcohol. God, it tastes so good. And, well, it was confirmed that this belonged to us, but I had no documentation in regards to it, and she wants to hold me accountable for the fact that I hadn't been doing checks on it. I didn't know about it. And frankly, since she's the OIC of 8th Com Alpha Company data, she should have some roster that says this belongs to us, which I happily let her know. And when I brought that up, the argument ceased. The discussion ceased. She tried to drop this shit on me, and I almost freaking lost it on her. But I didn't have to work for her directly anymore after that. Because shortly after that, I got sent to 2-6 Mu Command Element. And for those of you who know what a Marine Expeditionary Unit, they're lots of fun. So I got sent to one. Well, after I got sent to one, so did she. I got sent to 2-6 Mu Command Element. She got sent to be the OIC of 2-6 Mu JTF. So yeah, I still had to work with this woman because our sections were still technically the comm section. So yeah, I still had to work with this woman. And later on, we're all going on ship, and I believe it was the USS Kearsarge. We're going on, and I'm loading up gear onto the ship. It's our data shop gear. And she comes to me, and she's like, "Hey, Frenchie, can you load this gear up onto the ship?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And, with my own gear in tow and other gear, I take this gear that she tells me to take up on the ship. Then I actually look at the gear as I'm taking it onto the ship, because I'm taking it from the pier to the ship. There's quite some distance, so I get time to look at what I'm carrying. Because before I didn't actually look at it, but now that I'm walking up this freaking ramp, I have time to look at it. And it's got her name and her information on it. I realized after taking it after a little while that it's her personal gear. Remember when I mentioned how she tried to make us move in? Well, this is what she's doing right now. She's having me carrying her personal gear up onto the ship. Now, a part of me goes, okay, it's not that big a deal. She must be busy. She must be doing things, whatever. I get up to the top of that ramp. She is sitting around shooting the shit with the gunnery sergeant of the radio section of 2-6 Mu Command Element. This bitch made me carry her personal gear up onto the ship while she sits there and just gaffs off. This isn't the last situation I have to deal with this woman. Actually, there's lots more, but I'm not going to go through all of them because, frankly, this video shouldn't be that long. So I'm going to go through one more. We get sent to the rifle range, which those of you who have been in the Marine Corps, you would know. The rifle range is a yearly requirement. This is my first time since boot camp having to go. And I'm not really too pleased. Especially not pleased with the fact that she has to go with us. And because she and one of our sergeants is going with us, we don't get any breaks. Grass Week is supposed to be a chill week for the rifle range. It's supposed to be a week where you show up like twice a day just to freaking sit there and do the stances, and that's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's not hard stuff at all, but for whatever reason, because those two people were going, we had to go back to work after that. Well, the final day of Grass Week is coming around, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go rifle range. I'm ready to shoot. I'm ready to show people that I know how to use my rifle. Because as a Marine, I am a basic rifleman. I want to show them that I am a rifleman as a Marine. But the lieutenant is not convinced she is. So she goes up to the instructor and is like, I don't really know how to do all these stuff. Again, this is the last day of Grass Week. So I was wondering if I could get some extra time to do my stances and all that. Now the instructor, being the little corporal that he is, goes, of course, ma'am. We'll give you all the time you need to do your stances. And then turns to all of us. Not her, all of us. And goes, hey, we're going to be staying about 15 to 30 minutes past the time we're supposed to be leaving so that we can make sure that all of you have your stances down pat. What? She's the one who sucks at shooting, not me. Why do I have to stay extra? I have my stance down pat. I have good form. They have checked. I have made sure my weapon is ready for this. Why do I have to stay longer? Because she sucks. But we do. And I have to suck it up because I'm not in charge. The sergeant's pissed though. And because I knew the lieutenant prior to this unit, he holds me accountable for her being a total twat. Yay. For those of you who've never been in the military, when someone holds you accountable for somebody else's mistakes, it sucks! A lot. So yeah, it comes time to the end of the day time for the grass week. And the lieutenant is there. And she does the stance for maybe, I don't know, about a minute after end time. You know, after the time where she's making us stay because she's the idiot who asked the instructor for extra time. She goes up to the instructor and says, I have a meeting I have to go to. I need to leave. And the instructor's like, well, of course, ma'am, you can leave. And then the rest of us have to stay the full 30 fucking minutes that she requested for when she leaves. What? You mean to tell me this twat waffle asked for extra time, and instead of her, just her only getting this extra time, all of the Marines there got extra time, and then when it came time for that extra time, she didn't want to do it and left, and now all of us have to fucking stay. That's what happened. And that's why so many Marines hate having females in charge of them. There's other stories I could tell, but frankly, we don't have the time. So, if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, because I'm sure some of you disliked it. If you're female Marines, keep on trucking. Be proud of who you are, because you're a U.S. Marine, and you should be proud of everything it is that you do. Do hard work. I'm drunk, I'm rambling. Above all else, you know what? Above all else, have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye now. Hoorah!